Taisha, this is Professor Anderson with the second part of your feedback in a screencast. So here, as I look through your findings, you just need to label this. I'm noticing that these are the results of the primary research. And okay, so you want to make sure that you differentiate the results. So you had results. Let me go back to this real quickly. See, you have results of secondary research. This is what scholarly articles say. And then results of primary research. This is what I found. So you want to make sure that you have a separate subheading for that so it's easier to understand, because you have two types of results that you're producing for this paper. And then finally, based on the results, outline and enumerate your recommendations. I recommend bullet pointing. I would say recommendations first, and then bullet point, list them and strategize. List the strategy for implementation or strategy for rollout. The purpose of a research-based report is to identify a problem, research other company or other situations that share information about that problem, how it's been mitigated, conduct your own research, your primary research on how your employer, that same problem impacts your industry or your business, and then come up with recommendations on how to mitigate it. So you're taking all that body of work, research that you've done, and coming up with a step-by-step solution. And so you want to outline that step-by-step solution, and bullet pointing it is certainly fine, numbering it, using separate paragraphs or something like that, but you should make sure that your recommendations are very clearly spelled out and outlined. Let's take a look at these. Oh, perfect, beautiful list of references here. And I would just include, to provide their answers. Okay. Okay, so I like it's very objective. I like how you have that data. Yeah, I don't know that you could show the whole thing. I like how you have the information in a table form. I was going to recommend perhaps as an appendix to show the specific email or give a copy of the survey, because you always want to give a hard copy of what it is that you produce. But it looks like your data tables reflect very directly what it was, what each of the questions were. So on top of all of that, so there was just sort of the review so far is just organization. I need you to go back and again, remove those first person references of what I did. Identify, here it is, especially in the second round, I narrowed. You just want to give the facts. Identify those subject verb agreement inconsistencies. One thing I recommend, I have this little icon up here on my computer. It's called Grammarly. If you download this into onto your computer, as you type in Google Docs or Word or whatever your word processor is, it will help to identify for you those subject and verb inconsistencies. Other areas were those fragments and run-on sentence structures. You want to make sure that you're just clear, concise, and concrete. The best way to start out writing very direct business writing is use the most direct sentence structure as possible. Keep it in present tense, and make sure that you're using parallel structure. That means that all items in a series are in the same structure. So if you say, I went roller skating, bike riding, and swimming, you wouldn't say, I went roller skating, bike riding, and for a swim. That's not the same structure. So it doesn't matter what the items in a series are. You want to make sure that they are parallel. I hope that was helpful, and I look forward to your final copy.